What's up? We got Supergirl, Season 2, Episode 22, Nevertheless, She Persisted, the season finale. So this episode starts off with Kara on the Daxman ship where Superman is fighting her, and she's like, Superman? And she's like, once I told you, Kara, our planet was riddled with the corpse of yours, which means we were able to find any kryptonite we can, and I found silver kryptonite, which made me able to control Clark, and Clark's me, Kara, and he says he doesn't see you, Supergirl. He sees his worst enemy, General Zod, in this actor's only appearance, and he's like, I will destroy you, Zod. But Kara's like, no, don't. I'm here to help you. And he's like, get off my planet. And then they get into a cool fight. And he's like, I'm here to help you. And he's like, I will destroy these people. And she's like, stay. And he's like, stay away from them. And throws her away. And then everyone's like, hey, there's like a DEO signature. It's Kara. So Kara's able to, there's like some cool shots of Kara defeating Superman. Kara defeating Superman. So then we see Lena, and she's like, and her mom's like, hey Lena, you know that in prison I realized that I always loved you, but I chose something else. Oh, sorry for saying something else over you. But she's like, did you get that Alexis vault? She's like, yeah. Before Lex went to jail, he created like this big thing that was meant to kill all Kryptonians and save only humans. Poor Lex, yeah. It was meant to kill Superman. So, yeah. So they're like, So Kara wakes up in the Fortress of Solitude with an unsilverized Clark because she had a dream of being in bed with Lionel. Weird. So she's like, hey, are you okay? He's like, I'm sorry. You bet that kryptonite didn't weaken me. I was at full strength, but you still beat me. Wow. Kara beats Superman, but he's not weakened. So he's like, hey, I know how to defeat with this. It says Daxum. He's like, yeah. He's like, I really wish I had Kellex to read it. And she's like, oh yeah, sorry I blasted him. And he's like, yeah, well you owe me a new robot. So then they fly back and Wynn pretends not. He's like, hey Superman. So he's like, hey he's like, no Kara, you can't do that. That was always a barbaric rule on Daxon that you can't use that. So she's like, hey, get me into rule with Rhea. He's like, hey Rhea. Rhea's like, hey, kill more people because Rhea is a psychopathic murderer. She's like, hey Rhea, I challenge you to a trial. I challenge you to a Daxam or trial by combat, because it happens in every show that every character try another character to a trial by combat. That's basically the show. That they basically challenge every character to a trial by combat. So she's like, okay, Supergirl, I'll fight you. So meanwhile, she and Clark are training. So they go to Cat Grant, who's randomly has control of her building back, even though James didn't. So she's like, hey, you should stop giving. So she's like, she calls Clark Kansas, which I'm like, yeah, I like calling him Smallville better, because that way better name. Hey Clark, hey Smallville, yeah, it's a really cool and better name. So yeah, I think that's only Erica Durantis thing, but I like saying it. So as I go, and and she's like, hey, she's like, hey, you should really stop doing this. You should really stop trying to give Supergirl this much attention. You should really start giving Supergirl this much attention. So she's like, hey, okay, so yeah. So they, Mono and Kara go down, and she's like, hey, and she's like, if we win, you have to leave Earth. But if we win, you have to leave Earth forever. But if you win, we will surrender to you. So she's like, okay, and she's like, for the Earth. Bam, fight time! Bam, 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 but fight time. But yeah, but then Rhea breaks that fight time by she's like, hey, tell your forces to stand down. And she's like, I know. And he's like, you're breaking your god's rule. And she's like, her only god is her subject. So Magania Dream wakes John up. So he and Magan, the real Magan this time, the real Magan shows up and he's like, hey, you came. And she's like, you called. So then she brought some White Martians friends to help them fight. So yeah, so meanwhile, Lena they built the device with putting lead in it, which means that Mono wouldn't be able to stay on Earth for long. They would have to get rid of Chris Woods on the season. So they decided to go. So Kara's like, it won't have to come to this, but Lena's just like, nope, I want all the Daxons gone. But Lena's like, nah, Supergirl has the remote. Supergirl can decide whether to. So Mono shows up. So she's like, so Kara makes Rhea bleed kryptonite because she can do that, and so Mono's like, do it, you have no choice. So she blows out all the lead. Killing Rhea. She's like, Mono, save her. But then Mono's also getting exposed. So Kara's like, there's no other choice. They've already been infected. So she's like, how long does Mono have? And he's like, not enough. So they have to put Mono back in his pod and shoot him off the Earth. Shoot him off the Earth. Not off the Earth. So Kara's now super depressed that her the boyfriend that she started seeing is now gone. Clark is now saying, I gotta go too. Maggie wants to propose to Alex, like, marry her, Maggie. And and we don't see her say yes. She just smiles, and then we see us. So at the final scene, of Cat Grant's, I think, appearance in the season, she realizes that she's like, go, as Kara says, she gives Kara some very good Cat Grant advice, and she's like, go get him, Supergirl. So we see Kara flying. Mono's flying in his pod until a mysterious portal opens, and I'm guessing sucks him through it. Then we see, but when Krypton died, and we see these random cultist-like aliens putting this baby into a pod, and she's like, and they're like, she'll get her power, and then she'll reign. End of season. So. Yeah, and Lily Luthor is also taking credit for the alien attack because it's Lois and she has to do that. And that was still a pretty good season. I felt like it was better under CW's role than CBS's role. I feel like it was better under CBS's role, CW's role than CBS's, because CW even though they couldn't use that secret room that Jenkins' old room that they had in the first season, because CW couldn't recreate that set, so they couldn't use it. It was just closed, and they never mentioned it again. That was still a pretty good season finale. Is it better than season 2's finale? Season 1's finale? Yes. Because they actually killed their villain instead of leaving it up in the air. Dawn is just leaving up in the air. She's like, what happened to him? With Rhea, she actually dies at the end. It's not just saying, oh, something happened to her and we'll never find out about it. With Rhea just dies. I feel like Lillian was a better villain in my opinion than Rhea, because Rhea just happened to be the villain because she was too murderous and psychopathic. That's just randomly came out of nowhere. That just randomly came out of nowhere. And yeah, it just randomly came out of nowhere that she was randomly psychopathic. But anyway, that's it for this video. And I'll see you next time for some more for Supergirl. See you next time for season 3 of Supergirl. Hopefully, it's better than the Flash season 3.